Yo, what's up, Uganda? We are here for the Youth Talk Show, and this is our first episode of the show with your host, FoxproUg. With our show, it's going to be combined of a lot of issues that's interacting with the youth and getting into the fresh talent of the young fresh talent. So today I won't be handling a topic, and in my studio I'm joined by a team. We are going to be talking about depression among the teenagers. Now in studio I'm joined by two brothers of mine who are seated on my left side, and I think I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves.
I'm called Joshua Chisa. I'm happy to be on this show, and I'm pleased by the topic that we're going to be talking about, and I'm ready to give my all in all in this discussion so that we find a way of helping youth and making ends meet. Thank you.
And him?
I'm Doc Eric. I'm quite privileged to be here on this show to enlighten our fellow youth about depression as a topic. So we believe it would be more fundamental in trying to transform the lives of especially the youth out there.
So what's depression? We have seen a number of cases of depression in Uganda among teenagers. Depression has been counted into very many things, and it has been brought about by a lot of a number of cases. These are the cases that are going to be shared by my brothers and my whole team, and then we see how a teenager can fight depression within him or herself. So tell me, Josh, what do you think about depression?
Depression is a mental illness that affects the way a person thinks and how they act.
Yes.
And how they do certain things. Yeah.
Eric, tell me, what do you think about depression?
Depression refers to the pessimistic sense and lack of despondency in activity. Yes. And therefore we find out that most especially youth in this country have been depressed as a result of very many factors that we really need to highlight to the public and our fellow youth there, and then see how we can be able to come up with mitigative measures. So I believe most of us need to find out the major causes of depression in this country. Then we see how we come up with a better way forward. Getting to understand more about depression is a mental illness, or we can try to refer it as a mental pessimistic expression and despondent due to lack of activity. So in my own perspective, I get to understand that most of the youth out there have been affected by especially the depression, and this could have been as a result of very many factors. So we believe, as we try to highlight most of the causes of depression, we get to understand and find out much more mitigative measures to the problem, which is depression, facing majority of the youth and especially the public out there.
So with what you've said, I actually realized that the youth are getting somewhere, and I saw you talked about pessimism as a big factor in the depression of the youth. And so according to what you've said, I would want you to break something down a little bit for our youth to understand a little bit more.
So right, I can get to understand that. I believe that pessimism refers to the possible negative attitude towards depression, and I believe that trying to see the negative attitude towards depression, it would so much get to affect the lives of youth out there. So I try to believe that with all this we can be able to come up with a solution to depression.
So tell me, Josh, have you faced depression before?
Yeah, I have personally experienced depression, and it quite didn't take me well.
Yes.
Yeah, depression is very real. Interactive mentally, and I want to show you how depression messed me up and how I try to come up.
So, like, can you tell me, like, what led to your depression? Was it in your high school? Was it was it in your young age? Was it home?
And so definitely it was a high school issue that caused my depression. And if I get back to then, I was staying in a hostel, and I got involved in a few antisocial behaviors. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So the characteristics of what we were doing and the things we were doing caused me a lot of sadness. Yeah. Personally, I'm a person who loves music.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a musician, and I play in a band. But actually, all of a sudden, I stopped having interest in doing this activity. Yeah? I was just thinking about when am I going back to hostel, and let's just go and smoke weed, and get high. So I had this feeling of sadness and feeling down all the time. Yeah, so my experience is just that.
So tell me, Josh, during your high school when you started smoking weed with your friends and you found yourself diverging yourself out of the band and doing something else, like what did you gain out of it as you?
And so you asked me if I gained anything from this.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at high school, we have all been in high school. Now, we don't do, most times we do things to just try and stand out. You know, who are the bad guys in school? Yeah? Yeah, you know, we are all trying to impress the ladies out there. Ladies, yes, young girls. We're trying to impress the girls, so I really didn't gain a lot. Yeah? I was just in the spotlight. But when I retired back to myself, like when I'm back and I'm just alone in there in my bed sheet and trying to sleep, yeah, that feeling of sadness comes back. You understand? I can't just find myself with something missing, something I can't get to. So I didn't really get anything. I didn't gain anything that I could actually stand out and say I gained this and show.
So can I say that's all about fun?
Yeah, probably. It's just about fun and trying to fit into. It's more of a peer thing. Yeah, more of a peer thing and trying to impress. Actually, you're impressing people. Yeah, but burying yourself at the end.
So did it push you to juvenile delinquency, or did you go to drug abuse, like taking of drugs and all that?
Yeah, I took the drugs. if you want to put it that way, but although we had a level of restriction and maybe we did not go into so much destruction, but bro, we took the weed.
Alright.
We took the weed.
So now tell me, Josh, how did you fight? How did you fight that as you? Did you fight it alone? Did you fight it with a number of people behind you?
I struggled a lot because I always wanted to approach the counselor, but I had this fear in me. Yeah, wait, what if my bad guys see me going to the counselor? Yeah, they'll kick me out, man. So I just kept pushing like that. So, and actually I even think that may be one of the reasons I didn't bring out my all in all when I was doing my unit, because I didn't, until I left the school, when I came back home and first reflected on where I'm coming from, that's when I started realizing that all this was not right. Yeah. So from all that time, when I was doing what I was doing in school, yeah, I knew it was wrong and I was feeling the impact, but I had nothing to do, just to keep it flowing with my boys, and just fit into.
So did it kind of affect you in your education, in your also your home base, with your studies?
It affected me a lot. Academically it did, because I remember there are very many things I didn't attend. Field trips, class seminars. You know, I would request for that money, get the money, then like on a weekend we jump and go buy some weed.
It's quite very interesting. I would really need to find out how were you able to cope up
with the pressure.
Yeah, with the pressure behind you,
The pressure of school or my peers.
of your peers, and then how were you able to come out? That's what we really want to find out from you.
You want to know how I overcame the pressure. So yeah, the pressure was a lot, yeah. But when it started getting to me, when I started realizing that all doors are getting locked, you understand? I'm reading, things are not coming. I'm losing my friends that trusted me are not the good ones. Yeah, I actually resorted to a little bit of praying. Yeah, so doing a little bit of praying, kneel down on my bed, say 4 words, 4. It actually helped me a bit. I added God in the equation, and it brought some certainty to the pressure that I was having. Yeah.
Back at home, did your parents know about these behaviors? And if they knew, were you able to talk to them, and were they able to guide you on what you were supposed to do?
That's a wonderful question. At home, they actually realized at a later stage, but my mom is personally very supportive and disciplinative. Yeah, she takes disciplinary action so much. So she sat me down and we talked a lot. We talked a lot. She told me to look 10 years into my life. Where do I see myself? Yeah? And when we had this conversation, I realized that it was stupidity ruling the equation. Yeah, there was no sense in what I was doing. Yeah, so they actually realized, but they were supportive. So that's what every parent should do. If you realize that a child is doing these things, you have to support them, not isolate them. Yeah.
Josh, that is kind of a sad story, but it's good you copy it up. So, Bwana Eric, can you tell us, have you experienced depression before?
Yes, I underwent a series of depression, and my first depression was when my parents engaged into an accident. And then 2 is when we were evicted on the piece of land, and yet we had a land title. So that means with this it would really bring grief to our family. We found out that the other party had also forged out another land title. So that means 2 parties were owning land titles, but one was not the actual land title. And this highlighted especially the weaknesses within the Land Act, the 1998 Land Act. And how I was able to cope up with this is I had always a series of friends who kept on talking to me. We got some family legal advisor, and then also a family doctor who kept on trying to treat my parents. Just in summary of a bit of that. And I was able to really cope up, but my tuition was not paid by that year, so I went a full year without going to school.
Yeah, it's too bad that the young or the teenagers have to go through depression, and you might find it too. You might find that some are not helped. You get, and some are helped, which is not improper. So I personally also faced depression. I faced it in my babyhood. I faced it in my high school, and I fought it in a number of ways. I fought it through prayers, through seeking advice. Yeah, because I remember, like in high school, I also had the peer pressure issue. I got into drugs. I got into chicks. You get, and it affected me a lot. But I did copy up. I used to encounter with my teachers. I used to encounter with my parents, because I personally have a mother who's a nurse and she's caring. So she used to sit me down and sometimes we talk. And second, I come from a holy family, a Christian family. So sometimes I would sit down with my grandies, and we talk. They give me advice on different issues. So I know teenagers out there are facing a lot of fear, have faced depression through a lot of ways, through bullying at school, through, let me say, fights at home, like their parents fighting, exams, fear of exams, but all that can be copied out. So
Yeah, you said your mom is a nurse, eh? And she was supportive, eh? Like back then I talked about parents being supportive, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, actually there are solutions to all this, eh? Youths out there, you don't need to sit back and feel so down and think that there is nothing that can be done, eh? First of all, you have to open up, yeah? You have to get someone that you can give your whole to, someone that you can trust and speak to. Because when you look at this, it's more of a sharing thing. Eh? Yeah, you share to someone, then they can try to advise you. Because it's all an attitude problem, you know. When we are changing attitude, it's the way you're going to perceive things according to what they have told you. Yeah. So I think if the youth out there, you open up, get someone you trust. It may be a parent, it may be a religious leader, it may be a local leader around, or a best friend or something. Then you can open up to them, tell them about what you're feeling, the situation you're going through. I know they can advise you. And when you share your burden with someone else, it becomes lighter. Yeah. You feel a little bit relieved. Eh? Yeah. So that's what the youth. That's my message for you. It's a solution I can give you, the easiest solution that you can cope up with in this situation.
Yeah, Mr. Josh, I believe that I can be able to supplement on what you try to say. Youth out there, you need to seek advice, especially from your parents. Get better peers who would be able to guide you on what you're supposed to do. Go to religious leaders and then be God-fearing. We believe with all this, you can be able to become better citizens that can join us maybe in the transformation of this country.
So sorry, this is coming to an end, but I want to thank the guests who have been in the house, Mr. Josh, Mr. Eric. I want to thank those who have been streaming live. I want to thank the team that has been behind us, Don Pablo, Dan Media, and those who are sponsors, then also plus Dream Events. And not forgetting, this happens every Thursday between 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, that is TeenTalk Uganda. Thank you.